Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into The Path to Nibbāna, a book that makes a pretty radical claim that the way most of us think about meditation might be missing the point entirely.
So let's just let that sink in for a second. This question really challenges what many of us have been told meditation is all about, and it's the absolute heart of the book we're exploring today.
The book kicks off with this bold idea that many of the popular mindfulness practices we see today, while they're definitely helpful, may have drifted away from what the Buddha was originally teaching. And here's the core of that critique. A lot of modern practices are focused on stress reduction. And hey, that's great. But the book argues that this misses the Buddha's much more profound, original aim to completely end suffering by uprooting its very cause, which is craving. So the book proposes this different approach called Tranquil Wisdom Insight Meditation, or TWIM for short. It's presented as a return to the original method, found right in the earliest texts, a path based on relaxation and gentle awareness, not on forceful control.
So what's the crucial difference here, really? Well, it boils down to two fundamentally opposite approaches to what you do with your mind when you sit down to meditate. This chart lays it out perfectly. The path of control involves trying to suppress thoughts, which, let's be honest, often just leads to more tension. But the path of awareness is about gently observing them and letting the mind settle on its own, which naturally leads to tranquility. And what's so fascinating is this point comes from the Buddha's own story. Before he was enlightened, he mastered the art of controlling his mind. But he realized it was just a temporary fix. The moment he stopped concentrating, that craving came roaring back. He knew this couldn't be the final answer. Okay, so if we're not supposed to fight or suppress distractions, what are we supposed to do? Well, this is where the practice offers a very practical, gentle, and honestly, a surprisingly effective tool. And this is that tool, the 6 R's. It's a beautifully simple process. First, you just recognize your mind has wandered. No big deal. Then you gently release the distraction. Now, the key step is next. You actively relax any tension that's come up in your mind or body. A light re-smile softens the mood, you gently return to your focus, and then you just repeat it whenever you need to. And here is the absolute game-changing insight. The tension we feel with a distraction is the craving. So by noticing and relaxing it, you're working directly with the cause of suffering. All of a sudden, every distraction isn't a failure, it's an opportunity. Now, when you consistently apply this method of relaxing into distractions, something remarkable starts to happen. The mind naturally begins to enter these progressively deeper stages of tranquility and insight, which are known as the jhānas. Now, this is a major reinterpretation of a key term. In this system, a jhāna isn't some deep trance where you're totally checked out. It's described as a level of understanding that you reach with a calm, collected, and, get this, a fully aware mind. So the path unfolds through these stages. It starts with a rush of joy as the mind's usual static just fades away. This settles into a profound inner silence, which then deepens into this warm contentment, and finally it lands you in a place of unshakable balance and equanimity. And the path doesn't even stop there. It continues into what are called the formless jhanas. This is where the focus moves beyond the body into these increasingly subtle realms of consciousness itself, getting ever closer to the fundamental nature of the mind. As the mind becomes incredibly still and clear in these higher stages, the meditator starts to see reality in a completely new way. And this leads to 3 pivotal insights that pave the way for awakening. The first key insight is disenchantment. And it's not a negative thing, it's actually wise. You just start to see the endless cycle of thoughts and feelings as a tiresome treadmill, and you realize nothing temporary can bring lasting happiness. So once you see the treadmill for what it is, you naturally start to lose interest in running on it. That's dispassion. The mind simply stops playing the game of liking and disliking. It's not suppression, it's a genuine peace. When that peaceful disinterest becomes total, it can lead to the very threshold of Nibbāna itself, a moment called cessation. For a moment, everything just stops. All the mental chatter goes silent, and the mind touches a reality that's completely beyond the usual flow of cause and effect. This famous Zen phrase just perfectly captures the ultimate insight. The realization dawns that the self we spend our whole lives defending and gratifying is just an impersonal process. And when there's no fixed self, well, there's no fixed problem. And this is so key.
Emerging from that experience of cessation isn't like waking up from a nice dream. It triggers a fundamental and permanent change in the very structure of your consciousness. This first taste of that unconditioned state makes you what's called a sotapanna, or a stream enterer. You've basically stepped into a current that flows irreversibly towards full awakening. There's no turning back. The reason it's irreversible is because these deep-seated delusions, called fetters, are permanently uprooted. The belief in a separate self is shattered by direct experience. Doubt about the path is erased because you've seen the goal for yourself, and you realize no external ritual can ever replace this inner work. And this is why this all matters so much. The path described here doesn't just offer a temporary state of peace you find on a meditation cushion. It offers a permanent personality transformation, a new way of being in the world that is rooted in a profound and direct understanding of how reality actually works. It's a profound thought to end on, isn't it? After all the striving and all the effort, what if the key to the ultimate freedom we're all seeking isn't found in gaining more control, but in the simple, gentle, and wise act of letting go?